Yo, what's good? It's Mastermind MMA, and it's the literally the motherfucking 3 in the morning edition of this shit. Up late doing this shit. I had some shit to do, so I was busy working around the crib, and then I was like, you know what? Before I even get into that, I got to salute to and shout out to everyone motherfucking subscribing, everyone watching the videos, everyone commenting. I fucking feel the community feel, and the shit is dope as a motherfucker. We're fucking talking MMA, and this shit feels good. We're having intellectual talk, and the shit feels good. Everyone respects each other. You know what I mean? Even if we don't have the same points, we all respect each other's opinion, and we all rock with each other. I appreciate the support more than I can even vocalize, or more than I can even put in any video in any time. So thank you guys so much, man. The growth in the, it's mad funny. I'm gonna say this shit real quick. Well, like when I first started this channel like a year ago, I did a video where where I was just talking about some shit, and then I was talking about growth in the channel, and I was like, yeah, shout out to everyone watching. Shout out to, everyone subscribing. I got my subscribers. And I literally had fucking 2 subscribers. Like, not even joking. And some dude in the comments was like, hey man, I like the video and stuff like that, but I don't know if it's time to be talking about growth in the channel. And I was like, that shit kind of like touched the nerve of reality. I was like, yeah, but I still appreciate the 2 people. So literally, that's what I said to him. I'm like, man, like I just started shit a few days ago. So the fact that 2 people give a fuck enough to listen to me and subscribe, like hit that button, meant a lot to me then. So like now, for everyone that's like fucking joining the team, like fucking Chris Weidman said. Everyone's doing that. Like, I literally appreciated it that much when it was 2 people. So I mean, I still appreciate each and every one of you guys so much. So yeah, the support is dope. Yeah, I wanted to get into this video quick. I don't want to take up too much time because I just want to touch on this shit quick. If it develops more, which I doubt, I will do more of an in-depth video on it. But Stipe Miocic said he wants to fight with Anthony Joshua. Now, what do I think about this? I think this could be extremely dope potentially. And what I mean by that is, all right, so since Conor wants to fight Floyd, everyone's trying to cross over now. Everyone's trying to do the MMA fighter, go into the boxing world and boxing a boxer. So it's an oversaturated market, but it hasn't even happened yet. You know what I mean? And the promotions alone, it over excuse me, it oversold itself. My bad, guys. I was drinking a few brews. Yeah, yo. So the promotion of it talking and everyone saying fucking Jimmy Manuwa saying Hayes wants to box him and shit like that, and UFC's talking about it. All right, so let's say hypothetically that Floyd Conor happens and they want to do a hybrid card. So on this hybrid card, they have blah, 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 blah. We're not going to go into that. But it'd be potentially dope if Stipe breaks the record for the heavyweight defensives. Because you got to remember, like, Stipe, I rock with Stipe. I like Stipe. He's a great fighter and everything. But we can't predict the future in the sport. It's not anything about him personally. It's about the sport. Because fucking Cavallo, Fabricio Verdum, my guy, I rock with him. One of like my favorite heavyweight of all time right now. Like still. So yeah, man, he was when he had think about right before the Stipe belt. Think about how people were talking about Fabricio. And he got caught and then the whole narrative changed. And then we started looking at Stipe, and then after that dope ass fight with Overeem, then we're like, oh, Stipe's the greatest heavyweight. You know what I mean? Because what he did to fucking Fabricio. But we're just talking about Fabricio like that because of what he just did to Kane. So, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I see like Fabricio like running the division," and then that happens. So we're in that stage where we gotta see the run, you know what I mean? So it'd be dope if Stipe goes on this run, breaks it, makes history, and then Anthony Joshua is my favorite boxer right now and probably of all time. Nah, I'm not gonna go as far as to say that right now, but yeah, I spoke a little aggressively there. Yeah, he's my favorite boxer right now. I was watching him before he was champ of anything. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give fucking credit where credit's due. I don't rock with Shab that much, but fucking I remember I heard like I watched an Anthony Joshua fight, and then I heard like Shab talking about Anthony Joshua after I saw that fight, and I agreed with a lot of what he said, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna fucking like. I'm gonna like, yeah, I definitely agree. AJ's gonna be champion. Anthony Joshua, AJ. So he definitely called that shit too. So I've been a fan of him for a while, and then that fucking Klitschko fight. Honestly, I like boxing just didn't bring that excitement that MMA did. MMA like a regular card was like bringing more excitement than a boxing like stacked card, and Klitschko Joshua was the first boxing fight I felt in a while that had that MMA feel to it. You know, because a lot of the breaks in the action, because of the limit and it's just throwing hands, it is not as exciting as MMA. But that had that oh shit, like that war classic feel to it. So that was like that shit brought boxing to another level. That brought boxing back. You know what I mean? So for Stipe and Joshua to fucking box, that'd be so dope. Because if you think about it, Stipe's Golden Gloves, Stipe has a boxing background. Who do I think would win? If I feel like it, if it gets no traction, I'll do an in-depth analytical video on it. But as of right now, I would have to say Anthony Joshua. Because, all right, Stipe, when you look at him, he has great boxing. He's really precise. If you look at the Alistair Overeem fight, there's a point where where Alistair was covering up when Stipe was kind of like firing shots on him. And then Stipe took his time a little bit. And then he kind of was like hooking off. He wasn't throwing from his shoulders. He was more kind of hooking from his elbow, shots right into the pockets of what was exposed. And he was getting right in, like, Overeem's guard was fully up, and Stipe was finding every tiny hole in his guard and was getting in there. So Stipe is good in that. And when you look at how Stipe finished Alistair, it was on the ground. Again, Alistair had his guard up. And then right, like, he found that little fucking hole, like the motherfucking Star Wars when Luke had to fucking blow up the Death Star. Fucking Stipe found that shit and boom, put his lights out. But if it wasn't for that one opening, Stipe wouldn't have gotten that. And you're dealing with a whole new Alistair Overeem, a smarter Overeem. And we saw what Alistair did to fucking Mark Hunt right after that. So the thing with boxing, it would be in boxing. So the gloves are a lot thicker. No matter how precise you are, you're not going to get into those holes because those holes aren't open. They don't exist because of the size of the gloves. Now, AJ is a motherfucking beast. So I feel like we've, every Anthony Joshua's getting everyone out of there in like 6 rounds, 7 rounds. So we saw what he does in the face of adversity against one of the greatest heavyweight boxers of all time. So I feel like with that under his belt, and I feel like without Stipe being able to have those openings, Joshua is just so heavy-handed, he could catch him first. And he's the boxer. He's more seasoned in pure boxing. So that's my quick thoughts on that. I'm not gonna go too in depth into it. Shout out to everyone listening. If this shit picks up traction, which I doubt it will, it's just probably something that's kind of a fad and mentioned, and you know what I mean. If Connor Floyd happens, this might be something that people are gonna like. You know, the fighter combat sports might head in for a little while, or it may not. We'll see what's gonna happen. You already know it's Mastermind MMA.